protests continue in Kohima amidst the state cabinet decision to keep the absorption of the 147 assistant professors in abeyance. The protesters cited that they are not satisfied with the cabinet decision. Following the cabinet decision, they submitted a letter to Chief Minister Nefurio through Kohima Deputy Commissioner for expressing their resentment on the decision and to revoke the order. Well, the protesters also shouted slogans asking the minister in charge to step down. That's a big breaking news coming in at this point of time. Viewers, from Nagaland, protests continue in Kohima amidst the state cabinet decision to keep the absorption of 147 assistant professors in abeyance. The protesters cited that they are not satisfied with the cabinet decisions. And following the cabinet decision, they submitted a letter to Chief Minister Nefurio through Kohima Deputy Commissioner for expressing their resentment on the decision and to revoke the order. But the protesters also shouted slogans asking the minister in charge to step down. All right, we have our senior correspondent Sarah Konyak joining us at this point of time. Well, Sarah, why are the protests continuing despite the decision to keep the regularization on hold? Sarah.
Emergency cabinet meeting was convened by the Chief Minister today at his official residence, and it was decided that the regularization of the 147 contractual assistant professors will be kept in abeyance, and a 5-member committee led by the Agriculture Production Commissioner and also the Commissioner and Secretary, Mr. Temjen, will be formed, and a review will be done on this decision and also the entire situation. And a 60 days deadline was also given for the committee to submit its report. However, the protesters, mainly the Combined Technical Association of Nagaland and the All Nagaland Net Qualified Forum, were not satisfied with the cabinet decision, as their demand has been reaffirmed that the 147 absorption of the assistant professors should be revoked. So, as we speak right now, we are being informed by the convener of the CPA and that they are about to disperse right now. And following the cabinet decision, the organizations have also submitted ultimatum to the Chief Minister through the Deputy Commissioner of Nagaland. Although no ultimatum deadline have been set, but the convener has informed Notice Line that they will be calling off the protest for a maximum of 3 days for anticipating for a reply. And if the government fails to respond to their ultimatum, which has been addressed to the Chief Minister within 3 days, then they will continue their indefinite agitation. Reshma.
But Sarah, what of the appeal by Minister Temjen to the protesters?
It is very clear cut that the 147 assistant professors that were appointed after 2009, they were appointed on a need basis from the government colleges due to lack of teachers. And one particular point that he had also mentioned was the shutting down of the Wangkau College under Mon district by the Students' Union due to lack of teachers, and which was brought on the floor of the House by the respective Konyak MLAs in the Assembly on the floor of the House. And the Chief Minister and the Minister in charge had also committed that this matter will be resolved, where a committee was also formed, and subsequently 7 teachers were appointed in the year 2020. So that was one particular point which the minister in charge has pointed out, that these appointments are not sanctioned appointments but contractual appointments, and bearing the fact that the teachers, the assistant professors, the so-called teachers who were appointed after 2009 on contractual basis have been serving the government, the student, for more than a decade. it was felt necessitated that these teachers should be regularized. But there is also a catch here. These are not sanctioned posts, but once any of the teachers retire, the post will not be vacant to anyone. So that was one point which the government have also raised, that these are not sanctioned posts, but these were contractual posts that was created on a need basis, considering the fact that there were lack of teachers in many of the government colleges. And hence this is one of the core reasons which the government have stated, and also that the all due procedures according to the service rules, according to the necessary rules, the contractual teachers were appointed. However, the cabinet have decided to, coming under the pressure of the protesters, the cabinet has decided to review its decision, and a 5-member committee, high-powered committee, have been formed, and they are to submit a report within 2 months. So we'll have to wait and watch how the committee comes up with a report, whether the cabinet will go ahead with the absorption of the 147 assistant professors, or the decision that will be taken later on after the committee submits the report. Reshma.
Exactly, Sarah. We'll have to wait and watch how the newly formed committee reacts to the situation right now. Well, thank you, Sarah, for joining us and giving us all those details.